Somebody wrap this thing up on here because they don't want me walking around. Hey, first thing I want to say is thank all of you guys for showing up here today, because I have a feeling that most of you have been out here since early this morning, which... Yesterday morning. Good point. Hopefully you actually found a bed to sleep in last night for a little bit, a couple hours. But I think what that is an indication that this is a really cool spaceport. And there's only one place that I know of in the world where you can have spaceships taking off, spaceships landing of all varieties. And I say all varieties because we have a X-37 launch Thursday, I believe, unless I got my information wrong, which I think is pretty darn cool. And it's all happening in one place, right here on the Space Coast of Florida. And unfortunately for you guys, or fortunately, you end up stuck out here all the time covering everything. We only saw the landing of 131 this morning, but it looked absolutely picture perfect to me. I'm not sure we can do much better. That was an interesting mission that had some interesting challenges to overcome, and they did a bang-up job. It was pretty long, and I'm sure the crew is happy to be home, tired, and probably sleeping right now. We, on the other hand, are all excited to be here because we get to go in 3 weeks and a few days. Who's counting? Sorry we're late today, but we were struggling through a whole bunch of weather on the way out. Hope you enjoyed the flyover. I don't know how it looked. Anybody know anything about the Blue Angels? Yep. Okay, how did we look compared to them? No, don't answer that. Seriously, don't answer that.
We look like we're in white airplanes.
Yeah, so we flew by here, flew right by the VAB over there. The door is open. We got to look inside, see the stack. It's waiting for good weather to roll out, and apparently that's going to be 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. From here, a couple of us are going to do a little flying here, doing some STA dives, and then we're all going to go get some sleep. We're going to wake up early in the morning and hopefully get some time riding a crawler out there, which I know some of us haven't done before. That's one of the cooler things you can do in life is ride a crawler, which is like a battleship on the ground. And then we're going to get some fantastic training here that we're looking forward to during the TCDT week. Looking forward to a T0 dry countdown on Friday. And then shortly thereafter, I guess 3 weeks later, we'll be doing it for real, taking a payload back to space station. And it's a busy place, space station these days. Vehicles are coming, vehicles are going, and we're really fortunate to be one of them that's coming. And look forward to the mission. Quick introduction. Captain Select Tony Antonelli. And I don't know if you guys look at the bios, but he's been a commander for a long time until just a couple days ago he got selected for captain in the Navy, which is a big deal because it comes with a decent pay raise. He's our pilot. MS-1, Dr. Garrett Reisman over there, spectacular spacewalker. He's leading one of our EVAs, EVA number 1. MS-2, our main flight engineer, Mike Good, Air Force Colonel, retired now. And he's leading EVA number 3, another fantastic spacewalker. MS-3, another Navy captain, Steve Bowen, leading the spacewalk on EVA number 2. And Piers Sellers, the man of the hour, the man with the most experience here, has become a robotics arm specialist for us. And he's going to be doing all the robotics for us up on Space Station and telling us what we're doing wrong along the way. So for the first time in a while, you've got a crew without any new people on it that haven't been to space before, which is really nice, makes my job easy. And we all know it's coming, and we're happy about it. So I think that's all I got to say, unless anyone else has another comment. I doubt it. Thank you all again for showing up. Go home, get some sleep.
So this is a relatively easy day for us. Get a chance to drive it.
Let's wait till
Since you've
after
all
we
done this
drive it.
before, let's get in. We'll go over the 1, 2, 3 steps to get it rolling, and we'll start rolling. Driver, make sure they get in first. Oh yeah, it's easy for him to crawl up in there. Once he gets in there, get yourself positioned, get yourself settled. You can pull the handles back. Go ahead and get your position. Look out your prism. Once you get to the area where you're going to get out, pull them back, press the buttons down, and lock the brakes. Okay? You can just slam this thing forward. Understand, if it's an emergency and you're in a hurry and you haven't thought to put this ramp up, you can still drive it with a ramp down. It'll drag all the way to wherever you got to go.
We talked about that. Like mid-range.
way through 17 on this 11-hour hold. So they'll finally say they're ready to go on them. That's really, to be able to do 3 dimensions, flip it free.
Yeah, this one.
That's where it rolls from, right?
Right.
Slides out there.
Yeah, it's gonna roll from
That's what they put it on yesterday.
Yeah, Delta's got a covered one.
I just want you to know what's in here. We've got our 3 and 6 single bottle spares for you guys. The flashlights and Travis's bag of tools that he won't let us play with.
Ah, well done.
Just wanted to show you this.
Nice quote.
Bravo, bro.
So I can do my spiel. Guys, to you, your number 4 is going to be Chris Minert, who just received a silver snoop about an hour ago. So what I'm going to do is you guys stick to your plan. You do your 2-2. And as 2 of you leave the white room, I'm going to stick a white suit with you. Mr. Commander, sir, it is your duty.
Starting up the car, and she's between. He's going to open the doors and say, let's get out of here for a while. And, chances are there may be some O2 displacement caused. There's cameras, so try to avoid filming here. Primarily. Now, you need to hit both of them. It doesn't matter which order. Hit both of them. Yes, sir. Baskets and you'll be good to go. In a worst case scenario though, you can have a lot more fire, a lot more vapors and that sort of stuff. Actually have to adjust the flow pattern. We want to put them out, but it'll certainly push away those vapors and smoke and heat and that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes, sure. Absolutely.
Let's come over here. See what happens to you when you... Okay. Basic slide wire bath. I recommend when you face it, rifle does not go down. No matter what the and load in. Hooks up here. And, last person in. Make sure your hands are up here, not out here. Look back. Just do a double check. Hit it. This guillotine's going to cut this Nomex and then you're on your way. Now tomorrow, last person in. If that doesn't, you'll find 3 at the base of the pad. Chances are that's your primary. Number 2 is down by.
Just like they taught you about.
Exactly. Yeah, well,
STM QBSE, slide wire basket release in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm glad it didn't rust. I'm getting you that road.
Yep, we're good.
All right, well, we'll see you down in the bunker and
be out of here.
Back over toward pad B. Or if they tell you to go this way and come back out to where I'm at 85, which is where the big gantry is out there. That's where I'm staging. Which one I am. Plus I'm the one with the big mouth. I do a lot of yelling. When you're in there, you will have hands on you and eyes on you at all times. Okay? Will either a rescueman or closeout crew touching you at all times. You're never going to get...
Going in the bunker?
let's start that way.
Yeah. So basically you walk off.
The first closeout crew member they see to be the communicator.
They all got flashing red lights and they all beep. You probably won't hear the beeping.
Pop it in, good to go. All right, if one of your partners finds that they're contaminated, they're up underneath the shower for a while, you can just go ahead and disconnect this one. Some of the fifth things feel like
Good game.
with 2 people, I doubt we'll get over that about. And remember that when you get down here, your prongs up in front of the basket, your chain dragging behind you. Navy types, good old anchor chain. Everybody else, yeah, it's chain. Rule number 1, when you do hop out, grab the bars. Get your weight on it so that... No other questions? Okay, folks, have a good one. We'll see you Saturday, I guess.
Yeah.
Riding Skywire tours. See you all next time.
I'm going to start with an excuse. When we flew in here a couple days ago for this training period for us at the Cape, we knew that most of you guys, the press, were really tired, and that's because you had just filmed STS-131 landing that morning, and we were flying in the afternoon. You guys have been up all day. Now the roles are reversed. You guys have probably been sleeping since then. And we were out here riding the crawler last night. I think we got back to bed maybe 2:33 in the morning, something like that. I'm not sure what time it was. And then we were up at 5:30 this morning. So we're the tired ones, and that's our excuse. It's kind of interesting. There's been a lot of discussion these days about the future of the space program. I'm beating you guys to the punch on all your questions so that you can't ask it. And I think maybe one of the bottom lines or the main thoughts is that there is uncertainty in the future as we try to figure out how to implement the president's vision, which I'm sure we're going to do, but that leads to uncertainty, and uncertainty is always a little bit scary. However, living in the moment, I think for everybody involved in this business, whether you are an engineer in Houston, an engineer in California, a wrench turner up there on the pad, a press person that's here to cover this kind of event, everybody wanted to be in the space business. And guys, this is what's going on right now. We're launching shuttles, we're landing shuttles, we are shooting the X-37 vehicle hopefully this evening. I believe there is a Progress undocking sometime today from Space Station, which is going to free up a port for us to bring up another module to put on that port. So there's an incredible amount of activity going on right now in the space world, and we should all be enjoying it. I can tell you for sure, the 6 of us are. All right, enough about where we are today. Some introductions. Tony Antonelli just got selected as a captain in the U.S. Navy. Second space flight for him. He's having a ball. He keeps me from making big, huge mistakes and lets me make the little ones, which is perfect. Dr. Garrett Reisman, we call him Big G. Can you tell why? One of our spacewalkers, he is leading EVA number 1, MS-2, Colonel in the Air Force, now retired, Mike Good. We call him Bueno because there's a translation there. Another EVA spacewalker, he's going to be leading EVA number 3. Moving down the line, MS-3, Steve-O Bowen, Captain, United States Navy. Another spacewalker, so these 3 guys here in the middle are our fantastic trio of spacewalkers. Steve is leading EVA number 2, which is kind of neat. It's rare to have 3 different lead spacewalkers on one flight. And that's mostly due to the fact that all 3 of these guys have been outside in spacesuits before on different missions. And they're fantastic. Lastly down there, Dr. Piers Sellers. He's sort of our experience on the flight. This will be his 3rd. He is our primary robotics arm operator. He is also our payload commander, being that our primary payload is the MRM-1 module, which is a Russian-built module. I think there's really only one of us, of the 6, that really understands that module, and it's Piers. So make it happen right, and don't let anything happen to you. Piers is also our science officer on the crew. So if you guys have any questions about payload science and what's going on the International Space Station, you can ask any one of us, but we're going to turn around and point at Piers because he's going to answer it for us. I think that's all I have. No, I know that's all I have on the way of an introduction, and I think we can open it up to questions and answers if you'd like.
Hi, Robert Perlman with CollectSpace.com and Space.com. Given the time that you spent with Atlantis last night and through this morning, what does it mean to each of you to be assigned to the last flight, or what is planned to be the last flight of Atlantis?
We figured that question was coming, and we've come up with a tagline for you. This is the first last flight of Atlantis.
Hi, Bill Horowitz, CBS News. I was wondering if I could get the 3 lead spacewalkers to give us an overview of each of the EVA, since we hadn't had the Houston briefings yet, give us a sense of what's happening, And not to hog this, but if Pierce could give us a little overview of the Russian module, that'd be great too. Thanks.
Doing 3 EVAs. The first EVA will be myself and Steve, and we're going to go outside and we have, in addition to the Russian module that we're bringing up, we have a new antenna, and that antenna has a large boom and a dish. It comes up in 2 pieces, and Steve and I will assemble that antenna on the very top of the space station. So it's nice for us because then it gives us a good fallback position in the future. We can install your satellite TV if anybody needs some help with that. We'll be experts at it. So we put that antenna together, and then once we complete that, we have a new piece of equipment, an upgrade to the Dexter robot, which is the Canadian robot that we brought up earlier. And it's a new tool platform that will enhance its capabilities to do work outside. So we'll be installing that at the end of that spacewalk. And that concludes the first spacewalk, which will be on flight day 4.
On flight day 6, we have our second spacewalk, and the second spacewalk's all about batteries. We'll go out, Mike and I will head out, and we'll go out and prep P6 for the battery changeout. And we're going to get hopefully 3 of them done for sure, and keep working until we run out of time. And that should set us up well for the third and final spacewalk.
On the third spacewalk, it'll be back to Garrett and I. We'll finish up the battery task, and these batteries are not double A's. You know, my brother thinks, you know, what's the big deal going out there and doing a couple batteries in space? But these are actually about 400-pound batteries. They're the size of a big, like a big speaker or a suitcase. And they're way out there at the end of the P6 truss. It's very similar to what the 127 mission did a few months ago. We're just going to be on the other side of the truss. And I'm really looking forward to going out and getting that view. And once we finish up with the batteries, we are going to journey back to the shuttle into the payload bay, and we're flying up on the sidewall carrier a grapple fixture. We're actually going to go out, EVA, get it, and bring it back inside with us. And then it'll be used on a future spacewalk. They'll take it back out, do some work on it inside, install a bracket, and then they'll take it back outside and install it out on the station, and it'll be a point of departure then for future robotic arm operations.
MRM-1's quite a big payload. It's a Russian module. It's in the back of the shuttle right now, or will be. And on flight day 5, we'll reach in with the arm, pull it out, and plug it into the bottom of the Russian segment. And what that will give us is a kind of a long tube docking extension so that spacecraft can dock to the ISS without coming close to other structure. And that's the main function. Otherwise, it'll be a place to put things and do some science.
Wondering what the possibility is, do you think, for having a nitrogen tank removal added onto your list of work? And also, we learned from the last mission that there was this possible shock hazard out at the end of P6. And so how are you guys handling that, and how much of a concern is that as you go out there for the first time knowing about this new issue?
For the nitrogen tank, that's something that we've been following very closely. We followed the developments on the last mission. Currently, there are no plans for us to go out and work on that tank during this mission. The program is said that they are happy operating it for an extended period of time without doing a change out. However, we did, this is NASA, so we always have backup plans to our backup plans. And so we did the other day, while we were doing some work in our big pool where we practice spacewalks, take a look at that, and we'll be ready to perform any actions the program might call upon us to do with regard to the nitrogen tank. And as far as I'll pass off the other guys to talk about how they feel about getting zapped with electricity.
As far as the what actually drove our task on EVA-2, where we have to go set up P6, heading outboard the Sarge, there's a potential plasma issue they wanted to resolve. And we're actually flying up some new workstations that are better isolated and should allow us to safely operate out there and mitigate that plasma hazard.
Wonder if you could describe a little bit what it's like to ride that crawler, and also recognizing that you're a little tired from that, do you think you have a chance to see the launch tonight?
Riding the crawler last night was absolutely fantastic. A couple of us were sitting around about quarter to midnight or so, and an email came in from our launch director, Mike Leinbach, and he said, "You guys got to come out here and see this," because they had the xenons on to make it extra beautiful. So those of us that got the email woke the rest of us up. They're all come to their door like, what are you doing to us? I said, come on, put a flight suit on, we'll go on out there. And we ended up staying for hours because it is absolutely incredible to see that, I loosely call it a battleship on the ground. If you've ever been on the crawler and on the MLP, it is like a battleship. It's navy gray, it's built like one, it has watertight doors, and being a Navy guy, I kind of identify with that and I feel at home. So we had a great time out there. We took a lot of pictures. Some of them actually turned out to be kind of artistic, and I think it has something to do with the xenons and the way the light goes through the atmosphere or something. But it was just one of those moments that we shared with each other to remind us the reality of what we're going to do, and that is part of what I was alluding to earlier about how fun this business is.
I was just curious if you could describe any differences or quirks between Atlantis and the other two ships.
The obvious difference from a technical perspective that actually drives our mission duration is a NASA acronym called SPITS. It's basically a power cord, an extension cord where we can get power from the space station and power some of the Space Shuttle orbiter systems and save the orbiters cryo and stay up longer. So that the major difference is Atlantis is missing that power cord, so that will drive our mission duration. We'll do our best to keep the lights down and all the extra computers off so we can stay up there as long as there's work to be done. But that's the big difference.
Who does robotics on this mission? And I assume that's done from the lab, or are they going to have the workstation? Is that ever getting into cupola anytime soon?
Well, we're hearing they're going to move everything into the cupola pretty soon. So we'll be sitting there in our sun lounger, doing all the work, looking out the window. It's going to be terrific. So looking forward to about a week's work every day in this greenhouse hanging up underneath the station.
One for the commander. You mentioned when you got here that you got a veteran crew and that you all work well together. Can you just tell us a little bit about the advantages of that in terms of training and what you guys expect, everything else? Thanks.
Yeah, it's a good question. What are the advantages of having a veteran crew? And they're probably more than you might realize. We've all been rookies or first-time flyers before, and I think we would all agree that when you don't know what you're getting into, you require more training. You require more time to get your head around all the daily operations that go on up there, as well as the primary mission objectives. But having done it once, lived through the whole year-long training program, lived through a mission, lived through the post-flight, that's a huge benefit going into a second mission. We were able to credit a lot of our training that is in a normal flow and cut it out due to the fact that we've flown recently. I think all of us, except for Piers, have flown in the last 2 years. And Piers, it wasn't that long ago before that, in your last flight. So we're all very current on orbiter systems and space station systems. And that helped really ease our burden of training. And from a sort of a emotional standpoint, if you will, when you fly the second time, I know I'm looking forward to the ride to ascent or the ride to orbit, because I think I will see and remember a lot more than last time. Last time was a Yahoo 8 minutes and 23 seconds. That's pretty much what I remember. This time I think I'll remember a lot more.
What do you get out of TCDT in addition to the bonus crawler ride with this dress rehearsal and everything you're doing over the next few days? What's enjoyable about that, and how does it prepare you for your launch?
For the work aspect, we have done this before, but I think for all but Piers, we've only done TCDT once, and it was a year ago. So you don't remember everything that you did a year ago on one particular day. So just going through everything that we need to do for the mission one more time, a little closer to launch, and just getting to see it again and have it refreshed. So I don't think we're learning too many things that are brand new during this trip in our training, but we are getting refreshed on stuff that we've seen before.
The crawler ride, that's definitely the highlight. But also, you get to drive a tank, which is which is pretty cool. Now, I have a 1975 International Scout, which is pretty close. The armor plating on that thing is just a little bit thinner than what we drove yesterday, which is an armored personnel carrier that we could use if we have the slide down, if we had an emergency on the pad and we had to get away of the vehicle in a hurry before it takes off. We have some slide wire baskets and an escape system, So we hop into these baskets that are on these wires all the way from up there, all the way down to the ground, so we can woo down in a hurry if we had to. And then there's a bunker right over there. And then if we needed to get even further away, if that wasn't safe enough, they have a tank there that we can hop in and drive to safety. And we had to practice driving that tank, and we did that yesterday. And so that's not something I get to do on a daily basis, and it was really fun.
My favorite part is just getting down here to Florida, being close to the vehicle. It just brings it home that, hey, you're going to go launch into space in a couple weeks. And it's just great to be down here and see the folks that have worked so hard to get this vehicle ready, and just to train with them and go through it once. And then we'll know we're ready, and we'll be back in a few weeks to do it for real.
Welcome, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing?
How you doing? Very good. Right here, down right along here.
Okay, green apple and O2 manifold. All right, let's rock and roll. All right.
All right, boss.
Got this. Get this. All right.
All right, got it? Done? Cross fittings?
All right, I'm gonna get Pearson here.
LPU, green apple, the fuel controller, manifold, O2 manifold. There you go, look at that. Great. Want some cooling?
A little bit.
Right over here. Right over here. And if you get up against the wall, we'll get your booties off. Just kind of lean against the wall over there. LPU. Big green apple. Fuel controller. O2 manifold. I just connect off the show. Pop off and
Sit there for 30 seconds, makes my phone ring.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Was it cool today?
yeah, today I have to be late.
There goes my thing.
Yeah, I'll get it when we get out.
There you go.
Got it?
There it is. Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like us to add or change?
Real well.
Appreciate it.